they are able to read and comprehend independently. That is the backbone of literacy development. Now, how do we find out what children are doing? We want to be able to take an assessment such as a running record or miscue analysis. We want to record what children are reading so that we can look, what are their errors compared to what the text is saying. And with that, we are looking for 90% accuracy, not 100%. If that happens, we want to applaud the child. But we realized then there wasn't a lot of reading work. We could put that child in the next higher level. If it's too difficult, 89% and below, a child has too much hard work. Therefore, if we have anything hard in our lives, what happens? We give up, or we say, we just can't do it. Children do the very same thing. So we will do the computation to find out how the child is reading, and we look for a 90 to 94 percentile. On your, in your website that you investigated from week 1, we talk about how to find that information, but it's running words divided by errors. I'll talk to you a bit about that in just a little bit. So now, why running records? We are using running records in order to find out, one, as great detectives, what the child is using with his cueing systems. 2, is the child reading punctuation, reading with intonation, making sense of the story? And finally, is this a book that really enables the child to do a little bit of reading work but still be successful? Well, how do we record this? We would sit beside a child, one-on-one, where you might already have the text printed out from you, for you. When you're going into the classroom to do your service learning, you will ask the classroom teacher, what do they use if they take running records? What do they use in the way of a testing booklet? If they do not use running records, then just ask to take an excerpt or a story that the child is presently working on in the classroom, and you will do a running record with that text. If the text is already written for you, all you will have to do is record right above the words on the text sheet. If it is not, you will sit beside a child with lined paper or a form that you will find on that Balanced Literacy website. Again, I refer you back to week 1, and you will be able to take your recording on that sheet. It doesn't matter the form, it's just the matter of the recording. Speaking of that, let's look at how to record. In a running record, you are making a notation of each word that the child is reading correctly or not. In number 1, when a child is reading each word accurately, you are going to use a check mark or a slash in order to be able to note that that child has read every single word correctly. Running words includes names, so it's every word that is in the text or every word that is in the paragraph. You will be making a check to signify that child has read each word correctly. Now this is for the younger elementary, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and maybe 3rd. Above that, a child often reads just too fast, and that's when just the miscue analysis comes into play. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's look at number 2. Now the child is reading along. The text says can. The child predicts cat. You will have the text written on the bottom. Now this is if you don't have a printed document in front of you. If you are just sitting beside the child and taking a fresh running record with no text on the page, you will write the word at the bottom that the text says, the child's word is on top. Obviously, if the text is already printed for you, you will just draw a line and write what the child says on top. Very important, because you want to watch for patterns that the child is using. That is considered one error. So text on the bottom, child's word on top. Number 3, many times children are reading along and they are going so fast that they omit a word. You're checking along, they've read the 3 words at the beginning of the sentence correctly, and then the word can is the text. The child omitted it, did not say anything. You have a line, but no word on top because the child did not say anything. And then you continue with your running record. That is one error. An omission is an error. At the same time, insertions are an error. How often do we read quickly and we might insert a little word that keeps the meaning going and we don't even catch it because our mind is going so fast. The same thing can happen for a child reading. So the insertion would look like this. Accurate reading, the child says cat, there is no text. So it's just blank at the bottom and then you continue to do your recording. An insertion is one error. Look at number 5.